Welcome to the Neuromasters Podcast, the place to reinvent yourself, master your mind, and change your life. Internationally recognized speaker, coach, and trainer Reg Malhotra will teach you tools to improve your mindset, change your behaviors, and let your relationships thrive. Are you ready to unlock the power of your mind? Here's your host, Reg.
He had some feedback, and I want to say this training has a purpose and a design. Okay, I know you guys have done different things in your life, and maybe you didn't get what you went for. So for us here, if there's any overwhelm, any uncertainty, any confusion, then I'm going to go ahead and say that that's perfect. Okay, this is not linear learning here. I'm going to take you from one page to another page somewhere else in the workbook. Then I'm going to take you to a slide. Then I'm going to ask you to write notes because I'm also training your unconscious mind. We've been taught through school system that B comes after A, C comes after B, then you do this page, this page, this page, and that's a linear form of learning. But human beings can also learn through non-linear ways. So I'm sorry when I say this may sound harsh, I'm not so concerned whether you're overwhelmed or confused or uncertain. I'm concerned with how you're responding to it. That's part of the training. What is your pattern been and how are you responding to it? Okay? I don't even need you to trust me. Listen, I have enough conviction. I've done this hundreds of times and I've seen thousands of people and I've seen thousands of lives changed. I trust enough that this shit works, right? I have enough conviction and I'm shameless about it. And the world is not looking to come to me to pay me $1,000 to see me uncertain and that I don't trust myself. I need you to trust in you. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for how you're responding to it. And I'll be watching those patterns because it's not, when you leave here, there'll be enough uncertainty. If you haven't learned anything from the last 3 years, let me tell you this, that just when you think that you're certain, think life's going to throw uncertainty at you. So the one muscle you can build is how you respond to uncertainty. One of my mentors told me very much earlier saying, Reg, if you can dance with uncertainty, you'll never have a worrying day of your life. But we're not conditioned that way. We're conditioned to have certainty. Now, certainty is an interesting topic. I will talk more about that because certainty, your clients, for those who work in this field, your clients don't buy you. That's a popular belief. They don't necessarily buy your product or your program. They buy your certainty that they will get a result. We're going to teach you exactly how to do that. If you haven't been getting clients, that means they are not feeling certain after speaking with you that they'll get a result. Think about when you bought a TV or when you bought a car. There was something the salesperson says or the manager said or whatever that made you believe that you will get a result. That's what people are looking at from you. And how do they get that? They get that from your physiology, from your tonality, from the way you speak your words, from your congruency. Do you believe in what you do? I ain't doing business with you if you are not doing business with you. I ain't trusting you if you ain't trusting you. These principles are not being taught out there. People are walking away with certifications, but they don't have the general know-how on how to produce this level of certainty. You can be the most qualified and the most competent. But if you cannot project that certainty when you talk to me, then how can I trust you? So I need you to trust in you. And when I hear some of your stories, invariably at these trainings, this is how trainings work. It reminds me of my stories, and metaphors are the language of the unconscious mind. So bear with me as I take you through these stories, because some of these stories, they bypass the critical faculty and they allow you to make a connection at the unconscious level to your own life. And one of the stories that come to my mind based on yesterday was when I was little, one of the things that happened was I was trained, if you will, directly or indirectly, to not be seen. Okay? Now, I was trained directly or indirectly. See, I'm a little boy walking around. If someone told me there's adults coming over, you go to your room. You should not be here when adults are there. I don't know, has anyone ever had that? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. Some people have. Okay. Now, our little unconscious minds at that time can process that as either nothing, or I'm just a kid of it. But if it's said repeatedly, because you might make a mistake or you might spill a drink. I was told I'm clumsy, so I would often, that was a hypnotic suggestion. So I would often, 1 or 3 times, my hand would shake when I was holding a hot glass of milk, because the suggestion was so strong that I'm clumsy, and I would drop it. So then there was this idea that I should not be around when adults are around, and my little unconscious mind processed that there is something wrong in being seen. Does that make sense to everybody? At that age, remember, we are taking in everything. And so I'm like, well, I'm not, and it's not the other people that were the problem. They're only acting from their resources. Remember the presuppositions of NLP. And they're acting from their model of the world. But I wouldn't know that. I'm like, I should not be seen. There is something wrong with being seen, right? That's how my unconscious mind packaged it up, built a belief, and had me actualize those behaviors. So I'm going through my school life, and I'm, getting opportunities to audition for drama, audition for singing, audition for all these things that to be on stage. And guess what? I would get through, but then I would sabotage it. Because remember, at the unconscious level, there was a belief that I should not be seen. So I remember going through my school life and not being seen. In fact, I got to the point where being seen was petrifying for me. Now imagine, here I am standing in front of you. I worked with thousands of people. And imagine how much of a disservice I would have done to the world if I was not willing to be seen. My whole business depends on me being seen. I have to get my message out on social media with so many videos. Imagine if I was not willing to be seen. Now, I'm not saying this that we start worrying about these things. NLP is all about bringing the unconscious to the conscious. You see, related to that is, as we're growing up, when we grow up, I'll be back to you, Leju, in one moment. When we're grown up, right? Now, invariably, this happens to everybody. We are very interesting as human beings. There is one parent, everybody this applies to pretty much. There is one parent whose love we craved a little more or a lot more than the other. For what reason? Well, parents have busy lives. There's one parent whose love we would crave a little bit more. And question is, in the spirit of bringing more of the unconscious to the conscious, because at this training, I'm looking for a very high standard from you all in how you show up, in how you hold space, in how you conduct yourself in these rooms. Because it's not about getting a technical concept right. It's about who you become at the end of this training is what I'm interested in. You can go and do a 1-year, 2-year NLP courses. There's plenty of them. They all end up here eventually because the change was not made. But they understood logically what's going on. You can be logical or magical. Which one you want to be? Logical or magical? Right? Logic is interesting. Logic is very important. In fact, logic does lead to magic. Without logic, we won't create a 10-ton piece of metal flying in the air. And that gives us magic. You think a plane is not magical? But the logic came first. Now you all have plenty of logic. You got lots of logic from school and colleges and all that, right? But it's about magic. I firmly believe that I create magic because I've used logic to now let go and then create magic. People buy magic. Everybody wants magic. Who doesn't want magic? And magic comes when you trust yourself, when you trust your unconscious mind, and when you start to build this level of trust. And so we have this parent whose love we crave the most. So I'm bringing this to your consciousness right now. Who did you have to be to get that parent's love and attention who you craved? Now, for some people, it works out really well. You need more woo, that's right. More woo will bring more magic. But you cannot let go of logic altogether, is not what I'm saying. Allow a bit more magic. I can literally do magic. I'm going to show you in some more advanced trainings when you come back. You'll be like, what did you just do? But when you believe magic is possible, you'll not only receive it, you'll feel that change instantly. And I didn't learn magic by studying magic, by the way. Now, enough about me. Let's go back to the story. So some people, it works out really well. They become an achiever because in order to get that parents' love and attention, they had to be an achiever. They had to win at sports. They had to win in everything. And it works out fine up to a point for some people. They just become an achiever, achieving everywhere. They become CEO. They become everything. And then one day they end up back in this training. Because what happens is when we become an adult, now we don't need to get that parents' love and attention anymore, but we are still running that pattern. Some people had to be a joker, a clown, and make others laugh in order to get that parents' attention. That's right, William. I've been there too. Some people had to hide and not open their mouth. Some people had to not be seen. And then they run that pattern their whole life as an adult until you become conscious of it. Now you have control. Now you go, I can choose to run this pattern or I can run a different pattern. Now you have a choice. That's what happened with me because I was not wanting to be seen. Not realizing that my entire gift lies in being seen. How contrary the whole thing is, right? I bet the creator's having a big laugh up there. So that's just becoming more conscious of that. Who did you have to be? And this is another topic which is more relationship oriented, which I'm not teaching in this training. But many times we go into a relationship with an intimate partner trying to get the love that we didn't get from the parent whose love we crave the most. And here's the interesting phenomena. You will never get it from your partner.
Thank you for tuning in today. Are you ready to take the next step and find out what's keeping you from reaching your goals and creating the life you want? Go to go.neuromastersacademy.com/GS-LP for a free transformational mini workshop with Reg. See you next week.